Student, I was doing the secondary functions of money. In that, I gave you the meaning of the secondary functions of money. Now, we'll start with the first secondary function, that is store of value. Okay, and I have explained to you yesterday that money act as a store of value because money can be stored for a longer period of time, which is not possible with goods and services, because goods and services are perishable in nature. All right, so they perish in a higher rate as compared to the money. So money act as a store of value. So write down the first secondary function, store of value. Under this, write money act as a store of value. Money act as a store of value because money can be stored for a longer period of time. For a longer period of time, full stop. As we know that goods and services are perishable in nature. They perish within a shorter period of time, which is not the case in terms of money. So money provides a standard to store of value. That is the first secondary function. Second secondary function, write down transfer of value. Write down transfer of value. Okay, so you can write that money can be easily means you first try to understand we can transfer anything from one place to other place, from one person to other person, from one period to other time period. Is it clear? By the use of money. We cannot transfer the property from one place to the other place, but we can sell the property by money, and we can use that money to buy the property in some other place. Similarly, we can exchange the property of one person in the name of other person by using the money. So write down transfer of value. That is a secondary function of money. So write down money act as a transfer of value. Money act as a transfer of value, full stop. Then write, by using money, anything can be transferred easily from one person to other person, comma, from one place to other place, comma, and from one time period to other time period, full stop. We cannot transfer the property from one place to other place, but we can sell the property of one place and buy by using money, and we can buy the property in some other place, full stop. This much you people have to write for transfer of value. Third point, write down standard of deferred payment. Right, standard of deferred payment. Under this you write down standard of deferred payment. Under this you write down money is the best way for making future payment possible. Money is the best way for making future payment possible. Giving and taking of loan. Next line, giving and taking of loan is easier in terms of money, but not in terms of goods and services. Not in terms of goods and services, full stop. Okay, so these are the secondary functions of money that we have completed. Now we need to do the contingent functions of money. So write down the third category, that is contingent functions of money. Okay, third category, contingent function. CONTINGENT, contingent functions of money, the third one. Now try to understand what is contingent. We know I have explained you what is primary function. Primary functions means the basic or fundamental functions of money are called primary functions. What are the primary functions? Medium of exchange, measure of value. Then we have done secondary function. The function which is derived from primary function is called secondary function. There are three secondary functions: store of value, transfer of value, standard of deferred payment. Is it clear? Then we need to start the third category of the functions of money, which is called contingent functions of money. Now you need to understand first what do you mean by contingent functions of money. See, in an economy, economic activity play a significant role. What happens in an economy? The economic activity. Who performs this economic activity? There are various individuals who perform economic activities in an economy. Who are those individuals? Like consumer. Consumer perform economic activity which is called consumption, expenditure and saving. Second individual is producer. Producer perform economic activity which is called investment. Producer does investment. Even government does economic activity. What is the main economic activity which a government does? Government has to distribute the national income among the people of the country equally. Equal distribution of income is the main challenge of the government. Is it clear? Now, what actually help consumer to take consumption decision? What actually help producer to take production decision? Or what actually help the government to distribute the national income among various factors of production? All these things can be done by the use of money. So what do you mean by contingent functions of money? Contingent functions of money means those functions of money which help the economic agent in performing their economic activity. Who are the economic agent? I told you just now, consumer is one of the economic agent, producer is the other economic agent, then government is also one of the economic agents. So they are the economic agent, and what they do, what is the main role they do? They perform economic activity. So what actually help these economic agents to perform their economic activity? It is money. So contingent functions of money are those functions of money which assist the economic agents in taking their economic activities. It helps the economic agents in taking their economic decisions. That kind of the function of money is called contingent functions of money. I hope you people have understood. Now write down contingent functions of money and write down the meaning of contingent functions of money. Those functions of money which assist or guide the economic agents. Those functions of money which assist or guide the economic agents in taking their economic decision or economic activities, in taking their economic decision or economic activities is called contingent functions. Okay, so under contingent functions we will study that how money help consumer in taking consumption decision, how money help producer in taking production decision, how money help government to distribute the national income among the individuals of the country. Is it clear? These things we all are going to study under the contingent function. Okay, let us take the first contingent function. Right now the first contingent function, guiding force to consumers. First contingent function of money, guiding force to consumers. Okay, guiding force to consumers. Okay, so under this you write down one line first. Money act as a guiding force. Money act as a guiding force to consumers. Money act as a guiding force for consumers in taking their consumption decision. In taking their consumption decision. I'm repeating the line again. Money act as a guiding force for consumers in taking their consumption decision. Full stop. How money act? How money help the consumer in taking consumption decision? That we need to explain here. So first thing we need to understand why a consumer does consumption. That we have discussed in chapter 3, that a consumer is rational. When consumer consume goods and services, the main aim of the consumer is to maximize utility. That we know. So what is the main aim of the consumer? The main aim of the consumer is to maximize utility. First fact. What is the second fact? The consumer maximizes utility by following general rule. What is the rule a consumer follow to maximize his utility? Consumer follow a rule to maximize his utility is marginal utility must be equal to price. Okay. Now how we measure price? In terms of what we measure price? We measure price in terms of money. So it is the money which help the consumer in taking consumption decision. Because consumer is rational. Main aim of the consumer is to maximize utility. A consumer will able to maximize utility by following a general rule. What help a consumer to maximize utility? A general rule. What is the rule? Marginal utility must be equal to price of the commodity, and we know that price of the commodity is measured in terms of money. So it is clear that it is the money which guide the consumer in taking consumption decision. So the first point we have proved that how money help consumer in taking consumption decision. Is it clear? So write down guiding force to consumers. Under this you have written one sentence that money act as a guiding force for consumers in taking their consumption decision. Now 3 facts we will write. Full stop, then write a consumer is rational. Right? A consumer is rational. That is, the main aim of the consumer is to maximize utility. A consumer is rational. That is, the main aim of the consumer is to maximize utility. Full stop. This is the second fact of the point. Change the paragraph. A consumer maximizes utility by following the general rule. A consumer maximizes his utility by following a general rule. After rule, give a dash, and below the dash you write marginal utility equal sign price of the commodity. In terms of equation you will write marginal utility equals to price of the commodity. Okay, this you have written. Then last fact. Since price of the commodity is measured in terms of money, since price of the commodity is measured in terms of money, so it is the money which help the consumer in taking consumption decision. Okay, since price of the commodity is measured in terms of money, so it is the money which help the consumer in taking consumption decision. Full stop. Okay, 2 more contingent functions are left, children. Okay, so I hope you people have understood the first contingent function of money. What is the first contingent function of money? Guiding force to consumers. Because consumer wants to maximize utility. A consumer will able to maximize utility only when he follows the general rule, that is marginal utility must be equal to price, and we know that price is expressed in terms of money. So what actually help a consumer to take his consumption decision? It is money. Okay, now write down the second function. Guiding force to producers. Second function, second contingent function. Guiding force to producers. We have done causes of law of supply. There we have done one of the cause that a producer sells more at high price and supply less at less price because a producer wants to cover his increasing marginal cost of production. So the general rule which a consumer follow to maximize his utility, similarly a producer follow a general rule to maximize his profit, which is called marginal cost is equal to price. And price is expressed in terms of money. So it is the money which helped the producer in taking what decision? Production decision. This will continue tomorrow. For today only this much. Thank you, children.